आप बैठिए, मैं बैठा हूं ना, प्लीज प्लीज बैठिए। नहीं, मेरा है कहना, आप पूरे समय बोले। आज नहीं, आपका आप बोल लें फिर। आप पूरे, ठीक है, थैंक यू। कनिमोझी जी।
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on the motion of thanks to the President's address. We are all proud to be here. We're all proud to be part of our parliament, to be representatives of our people. And in the President's speech, she says that by 2047, we have to build a nation which not only embraces its glorious past, but also encompasses every golden aspect of modernity. Sir, I'd like to bring to your notice that every country, when it talks about its past, it has different pasts, different narrations of its past. The history is very different from whose point of view we look at it. So, when we talk about a glorious past, whose past are we talking about? We talk about the greatness of this nation. We talk about the valor. We talk about the art, literature, the temples, architecture, and the philosophy. But we cannot forget the people who found no space or place in history. We cannot forget the untouchables, the unseeables, and the women who were pushed into fire in the name of honor. Today we celebrate that, and I stand in this floor of this house hanging my head in shame because we had to listen to something like that. Sir, we have to understand that there is enough in this country to feel proud about, and we also have enough to be ashamed about. We have to embrace that. We have to understand that. We have to own up to that. Only then can we make amends to it. Only then can we make sure there is justice done to these people. But this government, this union government under the BJP, tries to create a unitary culture promoting oneness. One nation, one ration, one nation, one tax, one nation, one market, one language, one exam, one election, one nation, one religion, one nation, one party. This is where what you're trying to lead to. But you have to understand that that will never happen.
Never.
This country has seen enough. This country has withstood enough, and our people, the people of this nation, will fight. You continue to undermine the power of the states. You continue to delegitimize the work we have done. You continue to insult us. You do not understand what a welfare state is and what freebies are. You continue to call us names, but we have set examples. We have proved that we can create models of social justice. We can create models of inclusive development, which you have miserably failed to do so. Sir, unfortunately, in 1967, when one of our leaders, Perasriyar Anbalagan, was in the Rajya Sabha, he said, in November when he spoke, he said that governors are being used as tools against states in Rajya Sabha. Perasriyar. He said that governors are being used as tools against elected governments by the union government.
Shame.
He said that, sir. He said it. I'm just quoting him.
The same is
I'm just quoting him. I'm just quoting him. I'm just quoting him. I'm just quoting him. Sir, the Tamil Nadu.
Speak about collegium, you cannot speak about.
So the Tamil Nadu governor has delayed assent to around 20 bills passed by the state legislature,
Shame.
including crucial bills like prohibition of online gambling and regulation of online games. And it's just not Tamil Nadu which stands alone in this fight. We've seen what happened in West Bengal, what happened in Maharashtra. In Kerala, the governor threatens to withdraw ministers, and in Nagaland, in Telangana. Yeah, every government which is a non-BJP government, I think we have to fight battles with the governor. But Dr. Ambedkar has rightly stated in the Constituent Assembly that the governor does not have any individual discretion and has to act according to the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. I think this government, when it sends governors to states which are non-BJP states, should ask them to read the speeches of Dr. Ambedkar, or at least kindly advise them what this country stands for and what federalism is. Because you are the ones who keep talking about cooperative federalism. So you should teach them to cooperate and understand the importance of federalism. But you do not listen. You could not listen to this, Mr. Rahul Gandhi when he spoke here. You were interrupting because you're not used to listening. It is something which you don't know how to do.
Listen to sense. Listen to sense.
But, and I think this year you forgot in Tiruvallur because there are no elections in Tamil Nadu. Yeah. But I'd like to remind you, Idipare illada Yemara Mannan Kedupar ilanum Kedum. Yes, I am translating because, of course, you did not make the attempt to learn any South Indian language. You only want to impose Hindi on us. None of you understand any Southern language. A king without an honest, critical council needs no enemies to come to ruins. So, if you do not listen to what the opposition says, to what the people say, to what the press says, to what people have to say to you, then you do not need enemies to bring you to ruins. This is what the government has been curtailing the freedom of speech vehemently, both inside and outside of the parliament. And it tries to create an aura of fear in many ways. We know, with all the tools in your hands. And
Shame. Shame on your tools. Your tools, yeah. All your tools.
This government has actively diminished.
Don't get distracted.
This government,
She's not yielding. She's not yielding.
This government has actively diminished the space available for dissent, debate, and discussion. Making the people voiceless does not ensure continued power, but it will create simmering discontent and resentment. You don't know when it will become into flames. You cannot rule by fear and fear alone. The president said that in her speech said that the country no longer suffers from policy paralysis. But I think it has moved to a dictatorial policy making. Sometimes I am reminded of Alice in Wonderland. I don't know whether I'm in the parliament or in the court of the Queen of Hearts. She just needed no reason to pass a sentence. She needed no reason. She could not listen to any reason. So sometimes you feel that is where you are, in the court of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Because the government does not understand that the parliament here is to legislate, but it believes in bulldozing all the businesses. There are no pre-consultation policies. Parliamentary committee recommendations are unheeded. And every time we have to repeat what we recommend, and still the government does not listen to us because they are not used to it. And most of the bills are not circulated to the members earlier, so there's no opportunity for the members to be able to research, read it, understand it, because you only believe in bulldozing the bills. And the number of days the parliament functions, it's shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and I don't know. We might just have symbolic days when the parliament will function, and then we'll all be sent home.
The Prime Minister doesn't even come to the parliament. Yes. All you do, try 3 times a year.
The Honorable President also said that the World Bank report acknowledged that India was able to prevent crores of people from falling below poverty line during the COVID pandemic. But the same World Bank report also mentions that it was the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act which played a role in mitigating the impact of poverty. It is a clear indication of the success of the scheme brought by the UPA government. But during this year's budget, the allocation to Manrega scheme is lowest in the last 4 years. The previous year, it was 73,000 crores. This year, it is 60,000 crores. But you are very proud of poverty alleviation. And this is one of the most important schemes. And you've reduced 13,000 crores from it.
89. They have raised it to 89.
There is demand. There is still demand. There is still demand. If you please can come and see. Then
Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Don't answer it.
From being 63rd position in global hunger index, our country has slipped to the 107th rank.
Shame.
And nearly 4 crore Indians, youth, are looking for jobs.
Shame.
They're unemployed. Is this the growth you're talking about? And in the midst of all this, I don't think I have to go into detail because it was spoken. But in the midst of all this, the government is turning a blind eye, and we saw the virulent, strong support which the Treasury benches had when issues like corporate misgovernance and Adani was brought up here. How strongly you responded to it, reacted to it, and supported it, and you were shielding it.
Shielding it. Shame. Shame.
So, the sad thing is, there is a misgovernance and there's a manipulation of valuation. But your reply is only one, which says that it is against the nation. It's unpatriotic. It is against India. The same Hindenburg report, the same Hindenburg has given reports about 15 institutions, some in the US, some in China. None of these countries said it is against the country. It was against the institution. But when we are talking about Adani, it becomes against the country.
Anti-Indian.
So I am really confused. I really want, you started calling India Bharat. Now I want to know what is the next progress. What is India? What is Adani? If talking against Adani is talking against India, I really want a clarification.
You become anti-Indian.
And what happens to the common people people who believe in hard work, who think that they can save their money because it is a government bank and they will trust LIC. What happens to their future? They trust LIC because they think their children's futures are protected. What is the answers you have for them? Is this the way you respond to these hard-working common people of this country? And this government is very happy to close down every public sector undertaking. If it is profit-making,
Sell it to Tatas.
if it is or not, they do not come forward to help them, support them, and make sure that they run. They want to close it, they want to sell it off. But then when it comes to a private corporate, why is the government going out of its way to support it, to help? And why are you protecting it? We want to understand what is the proximity. Without these answers, people are going to continue asking these questions. And people are going to be anguished about the future of their children. So, Madam, you talk about women's empowerment. I'm sure we all here as women have this question to ask. What happened to the Women's Reservation Bill?
Yes. They are anti-women. They are against the women's development.
Because you believe that the only way to make sure that a woman is honorable is to push her into the fire or behead her.
Shame. They believe in Sanatana.
Sir, we've seen 27 parliament sessions after this government, which in its election manifesto said that there will be 33% reservation in the assemblies and in the parliament, has come to government. But nothing has been done about the Women's Reservation Bill. You do not care about the people. You do not care about the oppressed, the suppressed. Our Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, in many occasions has written and demanded for conducting socio-economic caste census at a national level to find out about the true demography of the country, which will truly help the people.
She's the only speaker.
But I don't understand what is stopping you from doing that. So you talk about tribal welfare. What is happening in Greater Nicobar Island? You're displacing the indigenous tribes over there for infrastructure projects. And I don't know who it goes.
Definitely Adani.
And the governor over there is trying to change their lifestyle, denying them their right to eat what they want to choose to eat, to live, and to sell what they want to, and to trade what they want to. So is this the tribal rights? Is this the tribal welfare you are talking about? Sir, the Prime Minister keeps talking about the greatness of Tamil language. But when the fund allocation comes, the Central Sanskrit University gets 198.83 crores, whereas the Central Institute of Tamil Classical Studies got only 11.86 crores.
Shame.
This 11.86 crores does not even cover the administrative costs.
Shame.
How can research, how can symposiums be conducted?
So last, only speaker, ma'am.
Just
Only
give me
speaker.
a few minutes more.
Magalir.
And women have been insulted a lot in this house today, so I think we deserve some more time.
Respect women.
Sanskrit has been mandated. In the Kendra Vidyalaya schools, but not the regional languages.
Shame.
So you talk about the Indian culture seeing a renaissance in your government. Which Indian culture? Why are you again leaving us out? We know how the Kiradi report, which says that the Sangam era dates back to the 6th century BCE, has not even been published
2 minutes.
by this government.
She's concluding.
And the finance minister
हो गया, time हो गया.
promised us
Concluding, ma'am.
an on-site
She's
museum
concluding.
अब conclude
in Aditya
करिए.
Concluding. Don't
It's
stop.
3 years, and we have not got it. You talk about medical colleges, 260 medical colleges, but the Madurai AIIMS, which was, the foundation stone was laid by the Prime Minister 4 years ago. Nothing, no work has happened.
Shame.
Naipa, we are waiting for 13 years after giving 116 acres of land free of cost
Shame.
to the union government, and we are still waiting. Work has not started, money has not been allocated. Same story when it comes to the
बहुत
CPET.
अच्छा. श्री कल्याण बनर्जी
She's
जी.
just winding up.
I'm just finishing.
Winding up.
I'm
She's
just
concluding.
finishing.
Last 30 seconds.
The NEET,
30 seconds.
the NEET, the NEET today, it is not, it's become a national elimination and eradication test. You want to leave us out. You want to
Shame.
leave people, children who deserve to go to medical colleges. You want to cut them out. You told you're bringing NEET to regulate the fees. But
Capitation
today,
fee.
बहुत अच्छा.
the colleges are
That's important, very important.
giving seats to only children who can afford the exorbitant fees in these colleges. So where is the justice and fairness to students who come from poor families but yet have the aptitude
बहुत अच्छा.
and the talent to become doctors?
बैठिए.
The scholarships
बोला
were
जाए श्री
scrapped.
कल्याण बनर्जी. Let it be on.
The minority scholarship was scrapped.
What para? Last para. Last para.
Railway projects.
Last.
Railway projects. Southern Railways again.
Mahila.
We are
5 minute
getting
ज़्यादा
not
दिए,
even
5
1/10 of what the
Shame,
Northern
shame.
Railways get. Our fishermen issues in Tamil Nadu are unresolved. You have to use diplomatic channels to resolve it, which
You're not doing.
unfortunately you're not doing. Sir,
हो गया.
Madam,
Last point. Last point.
चलिए.
Last point. Last point. Last point.
अरे
you
उन
say
पर ध्यान
last
रखो
that
ना.
we can walk,
उनका
we have
time
to
जा
walk
रहा है.
together.
उनका समय
How
जा
can
रहा है.
we walk together if you don't recognize us, if you insult us,
Shame.
बहुत अच्छा बैठिए.
we do not accept us, we cannot
चलिए, लाइट
walk
दीजिए.
together,
काटिए लाइन.
and this nation will not walk with you. Thank you.
बहुत अच्छा. चलो.
Madam, we are having all respect to the Honorable President of India.